Al, let's talk about streaks in sports betting. My phone was exploding this morning. Your emails were coming in. People are just in awe. But you know what I say is before we get into the particulars of the NBA playoffs, if you've been doing this long enough, you've seen it all. Like to you and me, we've seen anything possible that could happen. We've seen it. And I guess I got a text last night. Can't wait to bet both favorites on the parlay tonight. Like people just assume that things can't continue to happen. Now, you and I discussed we've never seen teams storm back and blow leads, but dogs winning outright, even though the last seven NBA games, all seven dogs have won on the money line, but nobody can protect the lead, it seems.
Yeah, that's what's been crazy is you watch these teams just collapse. When you're up, the Boston Celtics up 72-52, and they lose to the New York Knicks. Um, the game yesterday, the Cavs were up 35-15. It's early, I get it, but you're up 7 points with like a minute six left. You have to win that game straight up. You may not cover, but you have to win the game straight up. So I don't understand it. How some of these teams, are just making just horrible plays, just horrible. The inbounds pass by Struce yesterday, just horrible decision. Um, I don't mind it if a guy misses free throws like Chet Holmgren. I mean, that happens, but these, you know, bad decisions, whether it's shot quality or late game, execution. It's just crazy. But hey, the coaches will do their jobs in between games, and these teams aren't going to keep losing.
So it's interesting. We went because we got, you know how it works in this business. And again, for all the clients that are watching, we love you, but you don't hear much when you're winning, right? And you get a lot of commentary when you're losing. It's just the nature of the business that we've signed up for in this business. Costy's sitting behind me. You can't see him. He went and analyzed all of the records of the Al's All Access since January 1st, or starting on 12:30 was that Monday of the week, because we use old school bookmaker parameters. Monday to Sunday is how we like to keep track of everything for simplicity's sake. If you are a dime player, Al, you are up 249.25 units after yesterday, after losing on Monday. You were up 249 units. As I talked to Brett, he confirmed, my bookkeeper. So, guys get lost in the sauce and they send me emails like, you got a big game I can double down on. I know you experience that too. One of the things I will say is stick to the system, whatever your system is. Don't martingale yourself. I know so many people that have reached out to me. There's no way these dogs can keep winning. And it's not.
That's not necessarily true. They can.
They can, and this whole martingale concept of doubling down. It's one thing if you're playing a favorite tonight because you have a reason, but to bet triple your normal wager because you think, as Costi just said, what was that stat, Costi? Boston.
Boston awful loss has been one of the best bets.
Okay, so it's been one of the best bets off a loss. Everybody
Hey,
knows that.
Oklahoma City has been the best team all season long. They've failed to cover their last three.
I
They
think
may
I'm
go,
paying.
for all we know, they may go on a 9-game ATS losing streak. I
Well,
mean,
everybody knows I'm definitely paying for dinner. But the reality is, it's okay to have a reason to bet a game, but this concept of you can't streak. So my issue is a lot of these guys, as you know and I know, Al, are putting themselves in precarious situations because not only are they're looking for that favorite to cover, they're betting way more than they normally should bet. And one
right.
of the things I preach on the phone is bankroll money management. If you have a 5 unit and then you lose and then you have a 5 unit again, I'm using this as an example, obviously. Guys, don't make it a 10 unit because you're trying to get out of the quote unquote hole. If you're a member of ours since January 1st, you're up 249 units. There's no hole. So you
Yeah,
want to reach out? Go ahead.
no, I was going to just say, one of the things I live with, and I've been doing this for 46 years, for better or worse, this is a what have you done for me lately business. I mean, I'm looking at my record the last 5 years, 41, 92, and 33.76. And the reality is nobody cares. All they care
Nobody.
about is like yesterday and today. I mean, so, you could literally lose for 5 or 6 days in a row. And that 41, 92, and 33.76 record goes out the window. And all they're like is like, but you're 6-12 your last 18, you suck. And that's the reality of this business.
You are in the last 17 weeks, 13 winning weeks, 4 losing weeks, with a little bit of a drawdown this week. And you would think that it would be flipped from some of the commentary that I get. And again, we love you guys. We're just having a little fun here. But if what this always comes back to over leveraged wagering, and therefore they can't handle the losing when it comes. I mean, if I tell
Exactly.
somebody right now and I show them your record, 13 winning weeks, 4 losing weeks, we're only day 3 into this week. Okay, we lost, all right, the last 2 days, big deal. But if I said to somebody, oh, we're 13-4 in the last 17 weeks, they go, great. And then I have clients that actually have received the 13-4 and are telling me I have to readjust my bankroll.
Yeah, no, I got a text message from a client today. He, you know, says taking a hammering the last couple of days. Do you have a game I can go heavy on? To get it all back. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, the thing with sports gambling, the most important thing I can say is you have to accept the losing days and not get emotionally crazy when they happen, because we all go through them, and we go through the winning days too. Which is great, but like most clients can't handle a losing day.
And again, I go back to money management. What would you say? We've never really discussed this, and then we'll get to the complimentary selection. If you guys want to pick up the Big Al's All Access, send me a text message, 443-957-1006. If you're global, you can email me at eric@pickdogs.com. If you want to know where I stand, like I said, since January 1st with Al's All Access rating system. And Al, do you happen to have the win-loss record since January 1st? If you don't, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, I can pull that up. I mean, if you want to use that artificial date of January 1st.
Yeah, exactly. Only
Win
because
loss
that.
record since January 1st is 407 and 328 with 2 pushes.
All right, so I understand you have hockey in there and you have baseball in there, but we're going to just make it simple, and we'll just act like it was just for the argument's sake of the video. We'll say we already know it's 99% basketball and football, so we'll say 400. So it's 328, 328.
I mean, we're up roughly 42. It's after the juice, 42 net games.
Okay, so there you go. So after the juice, so people always ask me what's the difference on the all access plus 42 units. If you flat bet, you went online to the premium site, you bought all the plays and you bet them flat. And the same games, you're up 249.25 units on rating the games 1 to 10 units. So that's 249 minus 42. You can do the math. That's an extra 200 plus units when people constantly ask me what's the difference, plus the late updates on the site. I believe you won your 6th baseball game in a row yesterday.
No, we're 6-1 this baseball season.
I mean, you're sixth win in a row, right?
No, we haven't had 6 winners in a row. We started off.
I'm sorry.
2-0, then we lost to go to 2-1, and then we've won our last 4 to go to 6-1.
There you go. High volume baseball for all you guys out there. 6-1, but again,
hey, we have a baseball play on this Wednesday as we record this. It goes off in the afternoon, so
there you go.
We look to go to 7-1 today.
Be cognizant of the fact that if you're handicapping the handicapper, which we've talked about in videos of the past, and he's up 42 units, and people are emailing saying, I can't make any money because he lost 2 games last night, that means you're not following the proper money management. That's where I can help you. That's why I pick up the phone. And this old thing here, Al, I know you can't see me. It's called a telephone. People actually call me. I talk to them on the phone, and I guide them. And because, as I always say, the biggest enemy to betting is not winning and losing. It's the thing between the 2 ears. It's the brain. And people can't relate, Al. You're putting your money on these games. I'm putting the money on the games. You truly don't go to bed in a bad mood when you say, tomorrow's another day, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like losing. I'm just like everyone else, but when you look at the amount of money I put on a game in September and the amount of money I put on a game in, May, it's the exact same amount.
Right.
Like I bet the exact same dollar per star, never change, win or lose, and that's what you have to do. And it's the people who pogo and get emotional that, I mean, that's what the bookies rely on. They want you to, you know, go nuts and go crazy and, piss it all away.
I mean, we're doing this video on Wednesday, obviously, so we won't know the outcome. But a client just texted me, said, I'm going all in on a money line parlay, Oak City and Boston tonight. And I went on to the book, and I just, for the fun of it, because you could put the money in, I put in, $1,000 pays $400. Great. That's ridiculous.
Well, actually, I like the bet. I actually, but I would probably be the type of person that would just put, 1,000 to win 180 on each game separately. I wouldn't do the parlay. I would just, bet on, each of them at minus 575 or whatever the money line odds are, and just leave it at that. But we're recording this before the games are played tonight, so people will watch this tomorrow after the games are over.
Right.
But I would be stunned if either Boston or Oklahoma City lost the game straight up.
And you'll hear about that on the next video, guys, when you watch the video the following day. So with that being said, what is your complimentary selection? Because we didn't talk about it prior to recording.
The very low scoring game in game one between Golden State and Minnesota, final score 99-88. Game twos tend to go over the total following the game one under in the playoffs. It's 138 overs, 113 unders. We're going to look for this game to go over the total, game two.
And what do you have currently as a posted number? I know.
Well, it was 202, and I haven't looked. My Don Best screen is off right now.
Got it.
Pull it up and see what it says, but it says it is 201 and a half.
There you go.
So
over the total of 201 and a half is your complimentary selection, guys. Reach out. What are the notable portions of this video? Money management. Don't FOMO. There's always another game. There's always another day. You're up 42 units if you flat bet every game with Al since the artificial date of January 1st, as he said on the website, and you're up 249 units if you're an all-access member. As always, good day and good luck.